Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Empowered greetings to everyone coming in right now. If you're down no more. It's time to turn it up. Turn it up Thursday. This is your time for personal development, and I'm your host and coach, Karen, Coach KG Gilliam. So, as Facebook is letting people know that I am now live, I'm live here on Facebook. I'm also live on YouTube, and I'm live on LinkedIn. So, welcome everyone. As you're coming in, please do let everyone know where you're viewing from and your name, if your name doesn't come up for me on the platform that I'm on. So also, please put your name in the comment section so I'll know who the Facebook user is. And I'm excited, as I am each and every Thursday, because what happens when you turn it up? Well, if you turn up the radio or the DVD, the CD, or the streaming, or whatever you call it, music, and it's your jam, you turn it up. You turn it up so it can be louder. And because that music just moves you, it gets you in a great mood. Now, if you're living in areas where it's cold, like here in the Pacific Northwest, we turn up the heat. That way, let that heat get into wherever we are and give us that comfort and security. So, but here at Turn It Up Thursday, oh yeah, we are really in your mind and hopefully turning those thoughts into actions, executing so you can be the best version of your authentic self and live your best life by design. By design. What is it that you've dreamt your life to be like? That is living by design when you pursue that and not living by default. Meaning, whatever just comes your way, you take it. You may not like it, but you accept it and you go on from there. So, for the last few weeks, the last 7, as a matter of fact, we are diving into John Maxwell's book, Put Your Dream to the Test. John C. Maxwell, Dr. Maxwell, wrote this book. Not only did he write this book, but at the beginning, Put Your Dream to the Test has a dream test attached to it. You take that dream test at the beginning of the book. You don't have the book, all you need to do is in the comment section say, Coach KG, send me that dream test. And I will send you the 10 questions with the statements following that you answer true or false to the statement based on you. And hopefully you will have more truths than falses. That sounds so funny. But anyway, I want you to have more truths. But if we're being real, there may be some statements you have to answer false, which in case then you want to go to the corresponding chapter in the book. And again, if you don't have the book, you're just going to watch the corresponding Turn It Up Thursday for where you had the false statements. So you can turn those false statements into truth. So this week, we are here on chapter 8. So after today, we'll have chapter 9 and chapter 10, 2 more chapters, and we will complete the book. And I am prayerfully looking for the next personal development book that we will tackle. Now, know this. I am not here talking about a book to make you go out and buy every book that I share with you. No. But if you're compelled to do so, then do it. But what I do is I bring forth the main points of the books to you in a lesson, so you can have and be equipped to continue to pursue your dream, your goal, your aspiration. All right? So whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching the replay because you were busy during the time period of the broadcast, it doesn't matter. As a matter of fact, one of the success work assignments that I give is that you watch the broadcast a second time. Because that first time you're watching and taking notes, and you may not have grasped everything. So you watch it the second time. So each week, watch the broadcast a second time and get what you need from that broadcast. So today, we are diving in to chapter 8. And chapter 8 is about tenacity. Tenacity. So I'm just going to go back and let me see. Let me look it up. Well, if I could spell it right. Here it is. So here's a definition of tenacity. Tenacity is a noun. It is the quality or fact of being able to grip something firmly. It is also the quality or fact of being very determined. And it is also the quality or fact continuing to exist. Persistence is what do you call it? A synonym for tenacity. It is the drive. It is the not giving up. It is the pursuit of what it is you want. And look who's joined me already today. Good afternoon to you, dear sister. Tammy Gillis is here in the house. She's ready to turn it up. And she is here from the DMV. You don't know what DMV stands for, is DC, Maryland, Virginia. That is that tri-area, DMV. Hey, Tammy, glad I'm sending you a heart too. Okay, sending you my love and best wishes. Glad you are here. All right, so we're just getting started, Tammy. I hope you've got paper and something to write with. If not, if you're just watching, then later on, success work is to watch it a second time so you can get the points that you need, okay? So, tenacity, we got the definition for it. And the question for tenacity is, am I moving closer to my dream? Am I moving closer to my dream? Let me just go ahead and answer that question simply by saying yes. And I say that because it is yes if you are alive, if God has given you breath in your body for another day. Yes, you are moving closer. Now, there are conditions of whether you are actually moving to your dream. And that means, what are you doing? What actions are you taking? What steps are you making? What research are you doing? What are you doing? That's the conditions of whether or not you are moving to your dream. Now, since we're talking about tenacity, which we defined as persistence, what are you persistently and with tenacious effort doing toward that dream? See, we decided since we started with this book a few weeks ago that we don't want to be just dreamers. Dreamers do nothing but talk about it and think about it. They daydream about it. We decided that we wanted to be dream builders. We want to, as you build, you are doing something. You have taken on construction of that dream. So, as a dream builder, now we want to make sure what we are doing, we consistently and with perseverance do. All right. As a dream builder, we refuse to quit. We refuse to give in. We refuse to give up. We are tenacious. Nothing is going to settle or satisfy us until the dream becomes a reality. So hear me on this. Also, what you see, what I exhibit when I share and teach about dream building is because I am passionate. I am actually, to be honest with you, sick and tired of people leaving this earth with unfulfilled dreams. I am. So I'm on a mission to help as many people as I can to make those dreams come true. But you know what? I can believe in you. I can help you. I can work with you. But until you allow that seed that has been planted in you to grow by what you do, it won't happen. Hello, Yvette Williams is in the house. Thank you so much, Yvette, for being here. Let everybody know where you're viewing from today. And so glad you could drop by. All right, so I want you to hear this quote that is in Dr. Maxwell's book, and the quote is by H. Jackson Brown. Mr. Brown said, "Rule number 1, take one more step." Then he had a rule number 2. Yvette is in my hometown of Hampton, Virginia. Woo-hoo! So East Coast is represented today. Mr. Brown also had rule number 2. And rule number 2 is, when you can't take one more step, refer to rule number 1. And rule number 1 was what? Take one more step. You know, I want you to encourage you to study leaders, entrepreneurs, people in the marketplace, wherever people are that your dream has come true for them. Just study them. And what you're going to find is these people had tenacity. They had perseverance and persistence in making that dream come true. Now, I'm going to share today a story in Dr. Maxwell's book about, and look, and I have people from where this person was from in Virginia. And when I read this story, I tell you, I was grateful that I didn't grow up in the time period that she did. I thank God, because still with everything against her, every obstacle against her, her dream came true because she was tenacious. So let me share this story. Her name is Elizabeth Keckley. I'll spell that for you. Keckley. She is a model of tenacity. She was born a slave in 1818 in Virginia, and she very quickly experienced hardship and abuse. At the age of 4 years old, think about, well, they're 5 now, but the twins, I remember when they were 4 years old. At 4 years old, she had to care for an infant. And one day, she was beaten because she accidentally knocked over the baby's cradle. She was separated from her father. She was sexually abused. She was told by her owners that she would never be worth her salt. She, in her early ages, she experienced slavery. She wrote an autobiography, and I haven't had a chance to get that, but you know how I am about autobiographies. But she wrote this in her autobiography, and I quote, "When I was about 7 years old, I witnessed for the first time the sale of a human being. The master had just purchased his hogs for winter, for which he was unable to pay in full, and he didn't want to be embarrassed, so it was necessary for him to sell one of the slaves. The slave's name was Little Joe, and he was one of the cook's sons. He was told, his mother was told to dress him as if he was going to church. And he was placed on the scales and sold like a hog. His mother was totally ignorant of the transaction. But her suspicions were aroused. When her son started for Petersburg in the wagon, the truth began to dawn her mind. And even though she was told that he would be coming back, he didn't. She would not see her child again. She was even beaten for grieving her son. So she experienced that at 7 years old. Elizabeth Keckley did. She had a tough life. She gave birth to a child after being raped by a white man. She was often required to do the work of 3 people, but she was highly tenacious. And she made the most of her opportunities. She learned to read and write. She developed skills as a seamstress beginning at age 6. What was her dream about? Her dream was about freedom. Her dream was to live the life that she had heard from other people. She grew up in a rural area, and Yvetta and probably Tammy know about Petersburg, Virginia. She was in her mid-20s, and the population of Petersburg was predominantly Black, and 1/3 of the people there were free. That dream planted in Elizabeth, and she continued to have that dream, even with another relocation to St. Louis, Missouri. So I'm going to fast forward and let you know that on November 13th, 1855, she bought her freedom for her, her son, and she said this in her autobiography. Listen to this, the $1,200 were raised, and at last my son and myself are free. 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 What a glorious ring to that word. Free. The bitter heart struggle was over. Free. The soul could go out to heaven and to God with no chains to clog its flight or pull it down. Free. The earth wore a brighter look, and the very stars seemed to sing with joy. Free. Yes, free. By the laws of man and the smile of God, and heaven bless them who made me so. Freedom was only half her dream. She wanted to become a dressmaker. And due to her exceptional sewing skills, she began working. Tammy will know this area. Yvetta will probably know this area, Baltimore, Maryland. And she went on. She was, oh my goodness, she was a dressmaker. Ready for this? For Mary Todd, the wife of Abraham Lincoln. Her business flourished. Remember last week when we talked about the cost? Are you willing to pay the price? She did. She did. So listen, I want you not to be like most people. Most people stop themselves from reaching their potential. You keep fighting like Elizabeth did for your dream. And I'm going to share with you now what Dr. Maxwell shared in his book, How to Move Closer to Your Dream. So you want to take notes, and if you can't take notes now, watch this for a second time. The first thing, to move closer to your dream, recognize that quitting is more about who you are than where you are. Everyone in pursuit of a dream is going to face obstacles and difficulty. That is a given. Be expecting it, but you cannot quit. You cannot give in, and you cannot give up. It's not an option. I already told you, don't be like most people and then stop your potential because you stopped yourself. Leonardo da Vinci declared, obstacles cannot crush me. This is what he said. Every obstacle yields to stern resolve. He who is fixed on a star does not change his mind. I don't care what the obstacle looks like. It cannot change your mind if you are truly a tenacious dream builder. The only guarantee for failure is to stop trying. So that's the first. Now, the second one to move closer to your dream with tenacity is to improve your vocabulary. Watch what you say. And I'm going to give you a couple examples that Dr. Maxwell gave. And I'm one that does this automatically. I watch the words that I say because the words I know have power. So instead of problem, challenge is the word I use. You know, here's a couple of examples that Dr. Maxwell, instead of can't, we never can get anything done. We've never done it before. So basically you're saying you can't. How about we have the opportunity to be the first? See that? See the difference? Or there's not enough time. That's a can't response. The can do response would be, we'll change how we work. One more example. We are understaffed. That sounds like a can't response. It's an obstacle. But instead of that, you know what? We may not have the quality, but the quantity, but we have the quality in our team. It's all in the perception. So watch your vocabulary. Watch what you're saying. Number 3, to move closer to your dream, you have to recognize that waiting for everything to be right is wrong. I promise you, you get in your vehicle right now, go wherever you want to go. I promise you, the conditions will not be all right. You're going to you're going to not run into, but have to stop at a stop sign or a traffic light. There may be construction going on. But if you sit at home and say, well, you know, I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait till everything is perfect before I take my journey to the store or wherever you want to go. You won't leave. You'll never leave. So, a comedian, let's see, what was his name? Jonathan Winters said this: if your ship doesn't come in, swim out to meet it. That's what he said. You know how people say, oh, I'm waiting for my ship to come in. I even heard my own father say that. And I said, what? I mean, I was thinking to myself, what kind of ship is this? That you got to wait for it to come in. So Jack Canfield, who wrote Chicken Soup for the Soul, said, how to get from where you are to where you want to be. Let me give you a few of what he said. I'm going to give them all to you. It's time to quit waiting for perfection, inspiration, permission, reassurance, someone to change, the right person to come along, the kids to leave home, a more favorable horoscope, the new administration to take over, an absence of risk, someone to discover you, a clear set of instructions, more self-confidence, the pain to go away. In other words, the conditions will never be perfect for you to go after your dream. Go after your dream regardless what the conditions are. Number 4, to move closer to your dream, change your thinking. Get rid of the stinking thinking. People don't spend the majority of their time thinking about what must be done. I'm talking about dream builders with tenacity. They just do it. They don't spend a lot of time thinking about it. Things turn out best for the people who make the best of the way things turn out. Remember that. Number 5, to move closer to your dream, recognize that resources for your dream stop the moment you do. You know, when I thought about that, I thought about the widow. And she was instructed to get as many vessels as she could and that the oil would keep flowing. But the moment that she stopped getting vessels, the resource of the oil stopped. So, too often, we want to see the resources or have them in our hand before we start moving forward. No. Effort only releases its reward after a person refuses to quit. And that was by W. Clement Stone, quote by him. Number 6, and there are actually 7, and then we're going to be done. Number 6, to move closer to your dream, practice the rule of 5. Okay, Coach KG. That's right, Tammy. Get rid of the head trash. Tammy been around me. Oh my goodness. And I'll share this, that Tammy, your persistence, passion, and tenacity as a coach is just what the dream builders need. Thanks in advance. You are most welcome. It's who I am. Because I've had some dreams come true, but I'm still dreaming. I'm still building. So if I can bring people along with me, yes, the happier I'll be. So what's this rule of 5? The rule of 5 is this. You're probably going to laugh because I remember laughing the first time I read it. The rule of 5 is this. If you would go every day to a very large tree and take 5 swings at it with a very sharp axe, eventually, no matter how large the tree, it would have to come down. That's the rule of 5. So every day, do 5 specific things that would move you closer to your dream. All right, that's the rule of 5. Then the last, number 7, of course, John Maxwell is going to put 7 things because 7 is the number of what? Completion. To move closer to your dream, remember that when you've exhausted all possibilities, you have it. If you want to reach your dream, you can't give up. Even if it looks like the avenue looks dead, you're exhausted, you feel like you've exhausted every possibility, you have it. You have it. So you keep moving. A champion is one who gets up when he can't. Jack Dempsey, famous boxer. A dream is not only a vision that compels you to follow it forward into the future, it's a measuring tool for every day and a motivation for every effort. Every effort you make toward that dream is your inspiration to move forward. If you have your dream, if you have chosen your dream wisely, let's put it this way. If you have chosen your dream wisely, then you must pursue it with tenacity. Dr. Maxwell said, if you are not moving closer to your dream, then you may not be tenacious enough in your pursuit of it. So I'm going to sum up this chapter this way. Change your thinking. Like Tammy said, get rid of the head trash. Change your thinking. Change your perspective and change your work habits. Those three changes can catapult you into getting closer to your dream. Change your thinking, change your perspective, and change your work habits. So, are you going to be tenacious? Are you going to be dogmatic? Are you going to be like that dog that has that toy and no matter if you try to get it from them, they don't let go? That is tenacity. Somebody or something is going to give up, but it can't be you if you want to get closer in the pursuit of your dream. So next week is chapter 9, which correlates with the question 9 in the dream test. Again, if you haven't had an opportunity, be that dog. That's right, Tammy. Absolutely. Be that dog. Dog. You know what? It's just that the dog, the D-O-G, doesn't have as much power as that dog. You got to get down with that. Thanks, Tammy, for your input. I really like it. All right, so chapter 9 next week, and now what I was saying was, if you haven't done the dream test, because I know we have new people watching the replay, and you say, I don't even know what test you're talking about. Then in the comment section, just say, Coach KG, send me the dream test, and I will do that. Chapter 9 next week is the fulfillment question. The fulfillment question. And that question is, does working toward my dream bring satisfaction? So keep fighting for your dream. I'm keeping fighting for mine till it comes true, because I've already had evidence that it does. But you have to be tenacious. You have to be that tenacious dream builder to see your dream come true. All right, so that is ending for chapter 8. I want to thank you all for being here. I appreciate you. I love you. Whether you're watching live or you are watching the replay, thank you for being here today. And here's my heart from me to you, empowered blessings. Have a great day.